Hello, welcome to this video where I'm going to showcase a set of battles between two players from the Sylph World Competition for factions. 8 teams from each region, LATAM, North America, Europe and APAC, have qualified for this tournament to become the best faction in the world. And we'll probably see different battles every week, different metas. Can't say it right now because this video is pre-recorded, but let's take a look at this matchup that we have right here now. The matchup that we have today is one in the Open Grey League. Again, Show 8, Block 2, and Ban 2. We have Luminous from Japan against 23 EJB from Austria. EJB qualified for Worlds through the Bochum regional that he swept all the way from the loser's side, and Luminous qualified in the Japanese qualifiers there. And I think he got to top 8 or so. A really good achievement there. I think about 20 players qualified from that tournament. Let's take a look at the achievements here from Luminous first. So, Luminous from Japan. I don't have a lot of information on Japanese players. We all know that there's a lot of them in the Go Battle League up top there. And they do quite well there. But let's take a look at some performances that I could find. One of them was the Japanese qualifiers in 2022. Luminous posted some of his battles on YouTube as well. I'll post a link for those interested in taking a look in the description here. And he got third place and qualified for Worlds. Unfortunately, he actually went 0-2 at Worlds, so no stream performance and very unfortunate. Yeah, that just happens at times, right? Then, one thing that the Japanese take a look at mostly is the leaderboards. They have like a website for that as well. I will post a link for that as well in the description, which keeps track of your highest Go Battle League ranking and your final ranking in the Go Battle League. And as we see here in Season 10, Luminous reached rank 2, which is very, very nice. Then the third achievement that I got here is the most recent Japanese qualifiers, which actually had a stream as well, and that I could find some footage of back. Luminous on the right side here swept a Swiss bracket 6-0, and in the end he got to top 8 to qualify for Worlds yet again, this time in his home country. So maybe more luck this year in Worlds for Luminous. So basically those are the records that I could find of him. Nonetheless, I'm sure that EJB knows he has a very respectable opponent here. Now let's take a look at EJB's performances. As many of you might know, EJB has made a couple appearances on my channel, on my YouTube, on my Twitch channel. He's a good friend of mine. And let's take a look at his performances that he had in Play Pokemon mostly, but also some grassroots. The first one, the Last Chance Qualifier. In the 2022 season, I think EJB only played at the EUIC 2022, where he got knocked out in the losers final of his bracket, and it's actually where I used the spicy sauce I had, which was the Pelipper. But it only took him until the Last Chance Qualifier to finally qualify for Worlds by sweeping one of the two groups that the players were divided in. He then went, I believe, 2-2 in Worlds, which is a tough result, but honestly, sweeping on day one of this great tournament was already pretty big. In 2023, EJB played first in Stuttgart, and that didn't go too well. So he decided to go a little bit as a secret, because he didn't really tell anyone except Lurgan Rocket and myself, that he would go to Bochum. And in Bochum, he got knocked out early in the winners round, but he then proceeded to sweep all the way from the losers, I believe from losers round 2, all the way to the finals, where he RPS'd the hell out of Lurgan Rocket, and then proceeded to win Bochum, which may have been needed because he kind of needed a travel award to travel to Japan. So that was it for Play Pokemon seasons. At the EUIC he also played, but didn't go too well there. Instead, another fun fact that we had with Luminous earlier, he got to rank 2 as highest position on the Go Battle League leaderboard in Season 10. Well, so did 23 EJB if we look at the same leaderboards from the Japanese. So that's pretty cool that he has kind of an equal opponent there as far as Go Battle League leaderboard performances go. Now, the last achievement that I want to showcase here from EJB is that he won the European Emerald Factions of Cycle 4. Yeah, which is a great performance. Waste Potential never really was the faction that stood out as the top tier faction. It was a very respectable one though for every single one who faced them, but no one really predicted them to win any cycle. However, they proved everyone wrong in cycle 4 and they actually won it. Now let's take a look at the matchup of these two very good season 10 GBL leaderboarders. So the format these two players are playing is the Open Great League. Just like I played against Zardy, it's a block 2, show 8 and ban 2 of these. So the Pokemon that are blocked, those cannot be banned by your opponent. I colored them green in this matchup, and I think that EJB has a little bit, I wouldn't say predictable per se, but more of the safer blocks here, because both Medicham and Sableye are really good. But looks like Luminous made an incredible read and has Alolan Ninetales blocked, and with Charm it obliterates both of those. Now if we take a look at the bans here, both players took a lot of very meta picks such as Medicham, Registeel and a Flyer. Let's take a look at the bans that we have here, and both players actually did the same here. They both made their Charmers stronger. As you can see, Luminous, his Alolan Ninetales is so good against Medicham, Sableye and Altaria. So he blocked Registeel and Charizard that countered the Alolan Ninetales. EJB only really has Lantern, his own Alolan Ninetales, and a Dunsparce to fight back. But Dunsparce does not win against Alolan Ninetales in the 2 shields. And EJB, I think he recognized the situation. He did the same. He blocked Venusaur. He banned Venusaur and Registeel, and now his Alolan Ninetales is somewhat unchecked. Obviously, Lickitung and Noctowl, even Noctowl, despite Alolan Ninetales being Ice type as well, still do very well against the Charm Alolan Ninetales. Let's take a look at these battles. We only have EJB's side in this one, so I put this one nicely in the middle here. Let's take a look at game number 1 between these two players. And this is an interesting line from EJB. Definitely not what I expected. You would think that the Alolan Ninetales is so good, you would probably weapon yourself with at least a Dunsparce, trying to catch a charge attack on that Medicham here, and I see what he's doing. He's trying to bait out the Alolan Ninetales with this. Medicham also wins the 0 shield, so that's pretty big. But it looks like instead the Lantern comes out, and it looks like EJB is running Dynamic Punch as well. I guess that's much better against the Umbreon and the Lickitung, so it does make sense. No shooting that Thunderbolt, realizing that he would live that. And throwing at the very last second. I kind of don't like that per se, because what if you get the defense drop here? That would be pretty cool, so your counts do a little bit more. Not sure if that will make a huge difference, however. It is shielded as well, and now you can come in with the Altaria, actually. Interesting. EJB probably making a hard read here that there's Alolan Ninetales in the back from Luminous. Thunderbolt does a moderate chunk of damage. Altaria is great against Water Gun Lantern, not so much against Spark Lantern. And going for a lot of energy here. If there's Alolan Ninetales in the back with Charm, you will need that. So yeah, we see that EJB still has that Lantern, right? With a lot of energy still. There's also that loaded Medicham and throwing right before the next charge attack here from Luminous. Very good timing from EJ. I definitely didn't expect the Altaria. It also could be like, oh, you expect that I expect your Alolan Ninetales. I'm not gonna run strong against it at all. But in the back is Lickitung. There's no Alolan Ninetales from Luminous. Sky Attack comes through. Lickitung on full health actually wins the one shoots here, which is crazy. It has a pretty decent matchup here. Trying to catch a Body Slam here unsuccessfully, and Lantern comes back in. You kind of want to keep that energy for the Medicham if possible, I guess. Yeah, let's take a look. One unfortunate thing for EJB here is that since he does not have Noctowl, so he doesn't break Medicham and Lickitung, which is tough. Correctly shields a power up that would have done a lot of damage on Lickitung, and now comes in with that Medicham. This is looking very tough for EJB. I think you can even get like licked down on that Altaria by the Lickitung should you manage to take out the Medicham here. Surf coming in. No shielded by Luminous. Another Surf, they still wouldn't take it out, but if Luminous didn't count, he might shield this. but he doesn't. He also knows that Altaria has a Sky attack, so he can't really shield that. And maybe for that reason, EJB should have perhaps committed, but also the Psychic will KO from here, so you kind of have to throw your energy no matter what. And is there any chance you can Dragon Breath down and get to 2 Sky attacks on Lickitung? He has a Sky attack here, but there's still a shield on Luminous, so Sky attack coming through here. It's not gonna do it for EJB. It's a tough matchup regardless, and his opponent played it out pretty well. Also didn't bring the Alolan Ninetales as EJB predicted probably. We're going straight into game number 2. As this is how EJB recorded them for me, so awesome. Charm Alolan Ninetales into Medicham, and Luminous knows right away. He swaps right away. He's like, yeah, this has to be Charm. There's no shot there on Power Snow. In comes a Lickitung, and this is a dynamic punch Medicham, so it does a little bit better here. Otherwise, Lickitung puts up a very good fight here. And now you only need 1 charge attack, really. If Lickitung shields that, it actually can get pretty nasty still. But now you're very fine. You live this body slam comfortably. Luminous already revealed Power Whip, so there's no surprise Hyper Beam. There it is, the Power Whip. Doesn't do that much damage. You even can get to another Psychic on the opposing Medicham because you're a little bit ahead on energy. The problem is, though, your Alolan Ninetales can't really take a lot of damage itself. But what's great is that your Dunsparce in the back likely has a lot of play. If there's an Umbreon, Charm Alolan Ninetales cleans up. Anything else, Dunsparce has a pretty clean matchup. Yeah, the full counter down from Luminous here. You should sneak a Charm here as EJB. 2 Charms should take it out, so this Medicham can't stay in for too long. Good timing from Luminous here. No shields his move, and it is a Psychic that does a lot. And in the back it is Lanta. Look at EJB, not even throwing a Charm, expecting the swap and going in right away, so he's not losing a lot of turns here. And sneaking a rollout in. The animation of rollout is really deceptive. Like the rollout damage already applies like in the middle when the stone is still going. So if you're looking at the animation itself and you're throwing at the end of when the rock hits the Pokemon, another rollout is already coming through. So you really have to think in turns here. You should not look at animation when it comes to rollout because it's so deceptive. Another great point to run Dunsparce, I guess. And Luminous putting 2 shields up there, really trying to preserve that Lantern as much as possible. EJ might not even shield this, because this doesn't KO the Dunsparce. Dunsparce is actually quite bulky. He does shield, however. It is only a Surf. That's kind of unfortunate. And going for great timing, but Luminous throws his charge attack instead. That is, again, only a Surf. And now the timer is up. And looks like, oh, look at EJB's patience there. EJB's patience. Waiting. Not even throwing a rollout. Just waiting for Luminous to make the swap there. And since Luminous threw basically right away, after he already used Psychic, EJB knows that it's not going to be that Psychic there that would KO the Alolan Ninetales. And barely gets to that Psyshock. I don't think this may have been necessary. I think after all these charms chunking, the Lantern already was in Duron range, which EJB does have stored right now. And now it definitely KOs. Very well played game from EJ. Very well played from Luminous. EJB just really having alignment all the way and just not giving it away. That really sounds easier than it is sometimes, but if you don't, you lose. And here's a terrible lead. Terrible, horrible lead for EJB. Let's see what he safe switched here. Safe switch into that Lantern right away. I honestly like the Alolan Ninetales safe switch much better myself. Just because it forces your opponent to swap out right away. But it looks like the Lantern is also really safe for EJB. For both players, really. So, what is Luminous running here? Probably also a Lantern. Let's take a look. We haven't seen the Alolan Ninetales at all from Luminous. Move coming in. It is a big Psychic. We'll put Lantern under half, and then the opposing Lantern comes in, and he gets a phone call. Oh no! And oh no! Oh no! He lost a couple moves there probably, but yeah, sometimes you get a phone call and that happens. We actually had it too at the EU Emperors during one of our faction battles. Luckily, we still pulled the win out. See if EJ can as well. I think Luminous waited like 1 or 2 sparks there, maybe to give some turns back, because, you know, who wants to deal with a dispute? That makes sense. Right, maybe Luminous thought that EJ was lagging there. Coming in with a Dunsparce. But Dunsparce doesn't have much play against Alolan Ninetales. It all comes down to Alolan Ninetales. If it has 2 shields, Maybe it can do something, but I believe that even a 2-shielded Alola Ninetales loses to Noctowl and Lickitung. So unless it's Armbrine in the back, this looks extremely difficult. Let's see. Surf coming through. Dunsparce takes like a champ. Another phone call comes in. Really good stuff. And this Duron should take out the Lantern. Yeah. Takes it out. Medicham comes back in. Oh, actually opts to throw that Duron first. It looks like Luminous didn't even get a counter in. Maybe also waited with throwing a false move there. And gets a shield. That might be crucial. Oh no, in the back is the Alola Ninetales, however. This is a mirror, so this is just going to be a charm off. I think EJP is just going to get charmed down here. You have to shield this as Luminous. If there's any scenario where you can farm down this Alola Ninetales and get to... I think you need 2 Durons from on the Dunsparce. There's no way you can live enough fast attacks there. Look at that. Luminous not even throwing a charge attack anymore because he knows. He's just going to farm it all the way down with his Pokemon. And now, yeah... Even if you were to get to 1 Duron... Oh, actually, 1 Duron may have done it almost, but... He doesn't get there. Very unfortunate. And that's a 1-2 loss for EJB. A 2-1 win by Luminous. The Japanese are here. For those who only watch Europeans and North Americans, the Japanese are here. They are good. They're always on top of the Go Battle League. And there will be 20 of them at the World Championships. It will be a lot of fun to see players like Luminous participate against names that Europeans, Americans, and South Americans do know. Hope you liked the video and see you in the next one. Bye.